Okay, just for a second, I want you to imagine a world where your car drives itself, a world where we have a permanent base on the moon, and a world where the whole idea of a 9 to 5 job feels, well, kind of like a relic of the past. Now, this isn't some far off sci fi fantasy. We're talking about a future that could start to unfold as early as 2026. We're about to dive into this incredible convergence of technologies that's set to completely change how we travel, where we explore, and maybe even what gives our lives meaning.
I mean, we all remember it, right? How the smartphone just completely rewired our world from the way we talk to each other to how we buy things. So the big question now, are we standing on the brink of another one of those moments? Another tech revolution of that same magnitude? All the signs are pointing to a massive, definitive yes.
All right, let's start this journey right here on Earth. Let's talk about a revolution that is poised to completely transform our streets and the very idea of getting from point A to point B. Now, when you hear robotaxi, you might just picture a self-driving cab, you know? But this analogy, calling it the iPhone moment of transportation, that is incredibly powerful. It's suggesting this isn't just some new product, it's a whole new platform that could fundamentally shift how we move, how we work, and how we live inside our city. I mean, think about it. Owning your own personal autonomous companion pod. It's not just about hailing a ride anymore, it's about a vehicle that knows you, that anticipates what you need. The potential scale of this is just immense. We could be looking at an explosion in accessibility and efficiency that could absolutely rival the impact of the smartphone. And here's the kicker. This is not some distant dream. The target for these Cybercabs to start rolling off the production line is 2026. Yeah, that is just around the corner. This revolution actually has a start date. Okay, so let's shift our view. Let's pull back from the streets of Earth and zoom way, way out to the moon. Because at the exact same time all this is happening, an equally ambitious plan is taking shape out there in the cosmos. So under the new leadership of NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman, there is this renewed and frankly urgent push for space exploration. And this isn't just about planting a flag again. No, this is a full-on strategy for American leadership for a long-term presence on the moon and for some really groundbreaking science. And this quote from Isaacman just cuts right through any ambiguity, doesn't it? The goal is no longer just visiting the moon. It is about staying. It's about building a permanent outpost for humanity beyond Earth, period. And just look at this timeline. It is aggressive. Artemis 2, the first crewed mission of this whole new era, is slated for early 2026. A landing follows pretty soon after, and the goal is an outpost by 2030. This accelerated schedule is really being driven by a new space race, with a national priority to outpace China's ambitions on the moon. It's injecting a sense of urgency we just haven't seen in decades. So, we have these two colossal projects unfolding at the same time, autonomous cities right here on Earth and a permanent base up in space. So what's the thread connecting them? Well, it's a single, powerful philosophy about the future of humanity, and one that brings with it a pretty profound dilemma about our very purpose. This shift, changing Tesla's mission from sustainable to amazing abundance, it might seem subtle, but it's a huge deal. It signals a move beyond just solving energy problems to this grander vision where AI and robotics create a world that's just overflowing with resources and leisure. But what does that world actually look like for us? And this is the core of it right here. This is the dilemma. On one hand, the promise is totally utopian, freeing all of us from boring, repetitive labor to finally focus on creativity, on our relationships, on learning. But on the other hand, the peril is deeply dystopian, mass job loss leading to a crisis of purpose, widespread anxiety and depression. And the public is clearly divided on this. I mean, while a lot of people find this new vision really inspiring, a huge chunk is concerned about losing that focus on sustainability, or they're just not sold on the idea yet. It really shows we are at a crossroads in how we imagine our collective future. This quote from an engineer named Stella Jim just perfectly captures the heart of that concern. It's not a rejection of technology. Not at all. It's a deeply valid question about its ultimate benefit to humanity. Is this future going to make us happier and more fulfilled? Or is it going to create this void that's really hard to fill? I'd like to share a quick personal story that kind of offers a hopeful perspective on this. My father was an engineer, and he lived for his work. So when he retired, honestly, we were all a little worried. But he found this new, profound sense of purpose in volunteering for his community, spending way more time with his grandkids, and staying active. He's really a living example that our purpose isn't exclusively tied to a 9-to-5 job. Look, a positive outcome from all of this isn't guaranteed. It's something we have to build on purpose, and that process starts by honestly acknowledging the risks. From there, we absolutely have to provide economic security so people aren't just left behind. And finally, as a society, we have to collectively cultivate new sources of meaning beyond traditional work. Ultimately, this is what it all comes down to. The technology, the AI, the robots, the cybercabs, it's all just a tool. It's neutral. Whether it leads to a utopia of amazing abundance or a crisis of purpose, that depends entirely on the choices we make and how we manage this profound transition together. So, as we stand here on the verge of 2026, with robotaxis on our streets and a base on our moon, the final question isn't about what we can build, it's about who we will become. We are actively creating this future of amazing abundance. The real question is, are we ready for it?